Hello there, everybody. My name is Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co host.
Caden Green.
And together we are
The
Real
Real
Bros.
Bros.
And welcome back to the Real Bros podcast.
Whoop whoop.
We are here, man. The halfway point of the season. Can you believe it?
Honestly, not at all.
I mean, like we went through some trial and error with this show, and we still are.
Yeah,
But like, it's good to like finally be moving along like we are, because I think we're in a good spot right now.
yeah, we can always be better, but at the same time, we can definitely be worse.
Oh yeah, that can always be worse. Um, Much like for the people in the movie we're covering today. Um, Caden, you want to tell what film we're reviewing today, since this is your fifth favorite movie of all time?
Six.
Sixth, yes, sorry.
My sixth favorite movie of all time for this list is Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
And that is the third MonsterVerse movie.
If you want to get technical, it's the fourth.
What do you mean? One of the ones that came out before was Kong Skull Island in 2014.
No, you're right. That is my
And
fault.
I have a question. I know you said you haven't seen Kong, which blew my mind, but since Kong came out in the 70s, like it took place in the 70s, would you watch Kong before 2014?
Yes.
Good, because that's how I have them set up in my shelf, and that's how I always watch them.
I mean, that's how it goes chronologically. Is like Kong and then the Godzilla movie.
Yeah, and like because like the post credit scene in 2014 is just a little like a glyph of Kong. So like you don't have to be like, oh, that's leading to something. When you just be like, it's obviously you're, yeah, it's everybody who's watched the MonsterVerse, you know. But yeah. Did we see this movie in theaters?
No, because I was in Florida when this came out.
That's right.
And I had watched it with my dad.
Yeah, that's right. I remember because I bought this on DVD when I first saw it for the first time. That's right. Um, this is a good movie.
It's a very good movie.
I think it has the strongest human story in all the MonsterVerse.
The strongest and most compelling.
Yes, it has the most charming cast members for the human characters. Very like team like. Very. I consider this movie the Avengers of the MonsterVerse only because like it has like gives you there's like a helicarrier type situation, and you're seeing all of these Toho characters come up. It's yeah. I'm sorry. That's how my mind works.
Not everything is a Avengers movie, buddy.
If there was, we'd be a lot more broke.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to say about this movie?
I can't remember. It's a PG-13, right?
Yes.
It's a very good movie.
It's got like some language, but that's to be expected in like standard PG-13 movies these days.
Language and obviously like human violence.
Yeah, yeah. There's some gunfighting in this movie,
Yeah, but other than that, it's mostly just monsters hashing it out.
and this was before Legendary decided to be like, let's go like full Showa era and just like do like wrestling moves with the monsters. So this is not completely just like, oh yeah, they're fighting, they're doing wrestling stuff.
It's actual giant monsters.
Yeah,
Fighting like giant monsters.
it's like the last serious MonsterVerse movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't take the other ones seriously just because of like how much they just like go for it. But I still love them. They're still fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything else you got to add before we get into your quick review?
Not that I can think of.
All right, let's get into it.
So, Godzilla King of the Monsters is a sequel to the original Godzilla movie, which came out in 2014.
Yes, directed by Gareth Edwards.
And the whole story for this is A terrorist organization is trying to control these monsters with a device called the Orca.
It's a it's a sound
Bio,
it's a bioacoustic device.
yes. And so they're trying to control them to rebuild the planet from the ground up, even if it means destroying the world. Along the way, they will ultimately unleash a monster that will mostly be known as Monster Zero in the movie that Godzilla will clash with for the majority of.
And for any like major Godzilla fans, I would say like this movie was made just for you because like this has some of Toho's most famous monsters, and we'll get into production tales about how this came about and everything. But like, yeah, this movie is just for Godzilla fans,
Yeah,
and you can tell it was made by Godzilla fans.
yeah, and while all of this is going on, there's also the main three family members, Maddie, Emma, and Mark Russell.
Yes.
And we'll get it more into their story in the actual explanation, but for right now, Mark is the main character, the father.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love how they do kind of bookend 2014's characters in this movie. Because like if you like watch the MonsterVerse in total, like you see like a lot of these characters only do two movies. Because like you have Sarazawa and Graham
Yeah.
in 14, and then this one you have Brooks from uh Kong, and he shows up from minor part in this movie. And then Mark and Maddie show up in GVK.
Yeah.
And then the other chick from GVK, the Kong lady, they show up in New Empire. And they probably won't show up. Well, they might show up again. I don't know. But like, I've just seen the trend, and it just kind of like sits with me. Like, man, they really don't like using their characters more than twice.
Yeah, like I understand where they're coming from, but the thought of just, hey, you're only doing two movies. It doesn't matter if the fans like you. You're only doing two movies, no more.
It just shows that they only care about the monsters, and they don't really care much about the human stories they throw in to assist the monster stories.
Which works for me because I'd rather hear all about the monster story more than the human story.
Yeah, for sure. So are we ready to get into production tales?
I believe so.
All right, all right, all right. So, development. Gareth Edwards, who directed 2014, he wanted a singular story.
Okay.
So he wanted a Godzilla movie that was very simple, very that I'm just going off of like what I've read. He only wanted one movie.
Okay.
So like he was like, I wanted to tell this Godzilla movie, very plain, very simple, and then he wanted the definitive ending, and that was Godzilla saved the world. He goes back to sleep,
Right.
and like the whole thing was like they woke him up because of the atomic testing, so they weren't building this grand world, and you can kind of tell that in 2014, and you can really tell when Kong came out. They're like, oh yeah, franchise money, son.
Oh yeah.
Um, but after the success of that movie, which was a roaring success, it it had a successful opening week. 2014 had a successful opening weekend internationally of $103 million.
Hmm.
That's a lot of money.
That is.
And of course, as soon as that happened, Legendary was like,
Let's make another one.
"Next, please." And they originally just planned a Godzilla trilogy.
So
With the same director in all three. Sorry.
so here's my question. So Kong came out first, right?
Kong? No. Kong came out after 2014 did.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
So, like, this idea that they're talking about right now was before Kong was decided.
Right.
But, because Kong is in, like, a post-credit scene. So, like, maybe they're like, oh, let's just, like, we'll make King Kong movie. Kind of like, but it's like, oh, we're getting GVK right now, son. Like, we're not doing that right now.
Right.
In Comic-Con 2014, Legendary Studios confirmed they bought the rights to Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah.
All three are very well-known Toho monsters.
And at the Comic-Con, they teased a short clip with the tagline, "Let them fight."
Right.
With images of all three monsters. And so that was like the first like teaser of this movie.
Okay.
So you gotta admit, being at that Comic-Con, that'd be a pretty sick Comic-Con to be at.
Oh yeah. Like, oh hey, there's the one guy from Star Wars that I like, Godzilla.
And people asked if the main character Aaron Taylor Johnson from 2014 would be asked if he would return. He said he hasn't heard anything. I think he's still waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
And then later in 2015, they announced Godzilla and Kong would fight. So in 2015, they announced Godzilla versus Kong. And of course, at that point, they were working on Kong at that point.
Right.
And then in 2016, they announced that Godzilla 2, which pretty much went on the back burner because they were like, let's see if we can acquire some more rights for some more characters. And let's just see if we can make this bigger and better. It got pushed back to 2018. Oh, sorry, it got pushed to 2019 instead of 2018. So they originally wanted like 4 years to work on this movie.
Right.
And they're cranking these out like every 3 years now. So like,
oh yeah.
So you're telling there's like a drop in quality there, just a little bit, but they're still good. And then Gareth Edwards dropped out of the project, and he went on to direct Rogue One instead, which I like Rogue One. It's a good movie. He's the new director of the new Jurassic World movie.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of like, okay, get some Godzilla 2014 action in here, maybe. Actually make it kind of tense and kind of scary, perhaps.
Okay.
Then he's just gonna like not hardly show the dinosaurs because like he didn't hardly show Godzilla in 2014.
Yeah. Or the dinosaur's always going to be in scene. It's just going to be extremely dark.
Yeah. Jurassic World Rebirth just takes place solely at night. But he expressed hope to work on Godzilla again one day.
Okay.
And that did not happen.
Oh.
In 2016, they announced that Michael Dougherty and Zach Shields, who worked on the Krampus movie, would write and direct this movie.
Okay.
And that is who did write and direct this movie.
Okay.
The same month, Legendary announced Pacific Uprising.
Oh.
And then right after that, they announced the official title for Godzilla 2 would be King of the Monsters.
Okay. I want to take a step back. Oh, hey, what movies did you work on? Oh, I just directed Krampus and Godzilla. Huh?
Hey, they're both good movies.
They are, but that's such a tone shift.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Anyway.
And so Doherty describes the film as the world is reacting to Godzilla in the same way we would react to any other terrifying incident. In that we are overreacting, but there's paranoia and endless speculation about whether he is the only one there out there or whether we're threatened by others like his kind. And you can definitely tell that in the movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they definitely like amplify it, but for this, but um uh, sorry. While Doherty loved the 2014 slow build because it's a slow burn movie.
Oh yeah.
He said he wanted to take the gloves off and hold nothing back for this movie, which he does not.
No, he really did not.
He's Doherty said I would call this Godzilla the aliens to Gareth's quote unquote alien. So like this is Aliens 2 to Alien 1.
Mm.
So like that's a horror-esque movie, and this is just like the cheesy 80s action movie. Which it kind of was.
Yeah.
In 2014, they started production on Skull Island. Not much changed after that. It seems like it was pretty. It was just this is just talking about like design and everything, which I love the design in this movie.
Oh, Legendary has done phenomenal with the designs so far because they're very realistic looking, but at the same time, I don't know how to describe it. I just love them. It's so good. And like there are scenes where you can get really close up of like Godzilla. You can see every individual scale that he has.
Yeah. It said they wanted Rodan to look like molten rock.
Molten rock.
Yeah. Which he kind of does.
It's more along his wingspan.
Yeah. Yeah, because he looks. I honestly think he looks more like a dinosaur in this movie.
That's what he is.
Oh, I don't know why, but I just thought he was a bird.
No, he's a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Like, oh, actually.
Yeah, you're the Toho guy. I'm just along for the ride. They said they wanted King Ghidorah's design to be unique, so they did a lot with King Cobras in the kind of like design aesthetic for King Ghidorah, but still wanted it to look like King Ghidorah.
Mm.
I can kind of tell that by like the way the heads were interacting with the other.
Because it's definitely a serpentine motion on the neck.
Yes.
Like whole body serpentine movement despite being the neck.
Yeah, definitely.
But it makes it look really good. Really terrifying.
And Doherty confirmed that the film would feature original monsters, which they did.
Yeah.
With Baphomet, Typhon, Abaddon, Bunyip, Methuselah, Behemoth, Scylla, Tiamat, Leviathan, Sargon, and Mokeleke Membe. I apologize if that last one did not sound right. I tried my best.
It wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think I could do any better.
For when they were making the orca, do you want to know what sounds they used?
Orca whales?
No. Doherty was given the access to the Toho library from the Showa era.
Really?
So the noises in the orca are Showa era Toho noises.
I love that fact.
It's like, he pretty much says he gave the sound designers a supercut of the monster roars from Showa Godzilla films.
That's neat. I like that.
And you can definitely tell this one would definitely be a Showa era movie.
Yeah.
I would consider the later ones to be Heisei, but we're not gonna get into that.
No.
We'd be on that for hours. Okay, ready to get to the budget?
Sure.
The film's budget was somewhere between 170 and 200 million dollars.
Is that the highest we've had on the show?
I think it is. And the
And
marketing alone cost 100 to 150 million.
oh my god.
So right now we're at least at 300 million dollars spent on this movie.
Oh my god.
Oh man, what I would do with that money. It actually okay, the film grossed 110 million in the US and Canada.
Okay.
Opening weekend it made 47 million dollars.
Ooh.
Internationally it made 276 million dollars. So they definitely made their money back.
Yeah. Not by a whole lot though.
Yeah.
Which that's surprising.
The film received mixed reviews from the critics.
Of course it did.
Critics praised the film's visual effects, action sequences, and cinematography and musical score, which the music and sound design in this movie,
Oh, absolutely.
like every time there's something happening, there's like this low reverberating growl in the movie, and I love that.
I know there is one scene, and we'll talk about it more, but there's an event that happens, and as it happens, the music starts to rise with it, and you hear chanting, and then, whoa, a light show.
Yeah. Critics criticized the film's plot, pacing, tone, and characters.
Okay, critics will find any and everything to complain about a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I understand where they're coming from.
Like we're always gonna understand why they're complaining about the characters.
Yeah, like with these kind of movies, I'd rather just watch big monsters fight. But I was talking to Logan about this. This is the movie with probably the most interesting human storyline
Oh yeah, definitely.
because Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong, and then Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empire. Those their stories could all be just kind of pushed aside.
Their stories are already non-existent.
Yeah,
They're just like, hey, we're here. Let's just move the story along like an inch, just to give the monsters like, oh man, these people are in danger. I have to fight. Oh.
and the only reason the humans are involved with Godzilla King of the Monsters is so one of the humans can detonate a bomb in front of Godzilla.
Pretty much.
And like that I think that is the most influence they have over them in the movie aside from the Orca.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like as soon as King Ghidorah is out, the the humans are pretty much pointless.
Oh yeah.
So that's only like what a half an hour in the movie.
Yeah.
So as I'm done with my production tales. Are we ready to get into this movie?
Before we get into this movie, you should definitely pause the podcast right now. Go check it out for yourselves.
Here you Godzilla on the Bobby.
It
That's a big Bobby.
it is for me. Just hearing us talk about this movie wouldn't do it justice.
No.
I would say that for all the movies we've talked about so far and coming up.
With the movies we have on the horizon, I see some long episodes
Oh, absolutely.
because, like, I know one of them for sure. We're probably looking at least 2.5 hours because, like, it's one of like our favorite movies, and it's not even my number one. My number one I could talk about for hours and hours on end.
ultimately, I think I might end up changing my number one thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have a board meeting.
We'll update that when it comes out.
Yeah.
But
We'll have like an unreleased cut. The original season finale versus the new season finale.
but all right, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely pause the podcast now. Go check it out. It's worth the time. It's very fun to watch.
Yeah, you can turn your mind off to this movie. I mean, after the first half hour, you can really turn your mind off to this movie. But yeah, go watch the movie. Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Are we ready to get into our deep dive review, sir?
I believe so.
So, all right, this is your movie, so you'll be taking the lead, and I'll jump in whenever I feel like it.
So half the time.
I need to jump in right now. I need to fix how you said that right there.
But
No, so I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get going, bro.
So the movie starts off actually in a flashback of San Francisco from the 2014 Godzilla movie. And in this flashback, we see the family of Maddie, Mark, and Emma. And Mark is looking for their son, who was killed in the debris that surrounds them from the rubble.
Yes, I don't think they ever found him or not,
I don't.
because I know that like the scene was like they're looking for him, then they just look at Godzilla fighting the Muto or whatever. But
I don't think it ever says. I think they just say that he is dead.
yeah,
But after this flashback, it then cuts to Emma, right?
yes,
And she's waking up. She's actually a scientist.
she
And
is. She's some sort of bioacoustic specialist for Monarch.
and Monarch is essentially the research group, or
They're the constant in this franchise. They're like the ones who are like we need to preserve and protect these creatures.
while also protecting human life.
Yeah,
But she does work for Monarch, and she comes downstairs to her daughter, who is emailing her dad
yeah. The family broke. The family pretty much split up.
after Andrew's death.
I don't think they're divorced. I think they're just extremely separated from
And,
each other.
no, I think they are divorced.
Are they?
Yeah, because I don't know where Emma and Maddie are at, but
They're
Mark,
in like. That's why I said they're like separated because in the
yeah,
movie
but
it
like,
said Emma and Madison went back to Boston after and everything, and he went to Colorado.
yeah, that's a ways away.
Yeah,
So
but I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't want to put a label on it just because they don't try to say it.
well, with how things are depicted, like it seems like they barely talk anymore.
Yeah, because the dad said he hadn't talked to her in like 3 years.
So I would assume that they're.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is already made apparent that Emma does not like Maddie talking to Mark.
I don't know if it's like. I don't know if it's not. I think she doesn't like it because like there are some plot points that those two are in on, and they know that he wouldn't approve of it. So
Right.
that's why like. That's why I like to go like. There's a separation there. They don't want him involved.
Yeah, she's trying to keep some secrecy going on.
Yeah.
But, Maddie's not texting, typing to her dad because I guess she's old fashioned.
Hey. She is 11 from Stranger Things.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm surprised she's just like not sending a
Telepathic message?
telepathic message. Yeah, but she's coming up in this new age where there's computers and stuff, and like she's taking advantage of emailing before she gets to texting.
But, she said Maddie says to Mark, "Hey, I'm doing okay. Sorry, I haven't texted in a while." And Emma comes downstairs,
And she slams the computer shut.
and obviously you can tell that what Maddie just did is something that Emma probably wouldn't approve of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think if it was something that would be okay for Maddie to do, she wouldn't have slammed the computer shut.
Yeah. Yeah, because I I get the vibe that she would much rather be with her dad,
Oh, yeah.
but because of what happened, she's like, well, mom's trying to make a difference, but eh.
Yeah. So, anyway, after this, Maddie and Emma have a little discussion about. Uh, it was Mark, right? They discussed him.
Yes.
And pretty much just say something, something, yada, yada, yada. What
Family drama, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, just family drama, pretty much. But then after they get done talking, an earthquake happens, right? Or
Yes. Well, they live at a Monarch outpost.
Yes.
They are overseeing Mothra.
Yes.
And Mothra is starting to I don't want to say become active, but she's starting to like move around and stuff.
Yes. Now, Mothra, as the name implies, is a gigantic moth. But at this stage in the movie, she's no more than a larva.
Yeah, she's a caterpillar, bro.
And so Emma brings Maddie with her to go check on Mothra and to try and test out her rebuilt device, which is known as the Orca.
Yes.
And every time I see it, it's an acronym for something.
Yeah. Let me look it up because I know you're eventually going to ask me to, anyways.
Yeah, because it's ORCA, like an acronym. But Maddie and Emma arrive, and Mothra wakes up completely. As she does so, the outpost that they're currently in decides to activate its defense protocols as to not scare her or harm any of the humans. Well, this sends her into a frenzy. What'd you find?
It is not an acronym. It's not labeled as an acronym. But I did I because it's just capital letters, there's no dots there.
I swear there was dots.
But I did see something interesting. Godzilla and the King of the Monsters also references Destroy All Monsters.
How so?
Um, in- Including a protest against the kaiju with a sign that says "Destroy all monsters." It's not really a reference. That's just name dropping an old '80s movie featuring Godzilla, but whatever.
And honestly, that's not even references. That's just, hey, destroy the monsters.
Yeah, they probably had to do that because like Toho's like, we want more awareness for our '80s movies.
But Mothra is awake, and the defense systems are up, and this causes her to start attacking. The containment field that she's in kind of drops, and so she's able to start attacking the guards that are trying to keep her from escaping.
And the light design in this sequence is cool too because when there's violence and stuff, it's like red, but as soon as she's like calm, it just goes like blue again.
Yeah, like a very calming blue.
I don't know if that's her bioluminescence or if it's like stuff in the facility, but I like it.
See, with how high tech they are with the monsters, I can see it being like related to her heartbeat or something.
Yeah, that's possible.
Like if it's a steady heartbeat, it's blue to try and keep her calm, and where if it's red and like a rapid heartbeat, it's to raise awareness. Like, hey, stuff is about to go down. We got to get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a good idea for sure.
But ultimately, the guards end up failing at their job because you're trying to subdue I would say, 50-foot moth larva with assault rifles.
They do the same kind of job that any guard does in a giant monster movie, and that's just to die.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to get hired for this job? You're ultimately going to fail, so have fun. There's good benefits.
Oh, what benefits? Dental. That's it.
Dental and recover your funeral, even though there's nothing left to be funeralized. But we'll put up a memoriam of you somewhere, just for your family.
Along with the 50, 60 other guards that'll follow your same fate that one day.
And then they just forget to put the names on it, so it's just unnamed guard, row after row, that the families have to, is this him? Wait.
I can't tell. He's too disfigured.
I'm sorry we're so messed up. That's just our humor.
Okay. Back on track.
Yeah.
So, Mothra takes out the guards, and Emma, with her Orca device, runs out into the containment cell and activates it. And what this is it's meant to reproduce the sound of an apex predator or the Titan themselves.
Yes. The original function was to deter the monsters away from cities.
No. It was to deter whales from shore.
That was the original concept of it, but when the monsters showed up, they repurposed the idea for that.
Yeah. So Emma takes Mothra's bioacoustics, puts it into the Orca, but it's not working. It's not calming her down. If anything, it's making her more upset.
You're not me. Why are you trying to be me?
Why do you sound like me? Leave me alone! But at the last moment, Emma puts in another bioacoustic that we don't find out until later on in the movie. And this merges with the other one to calm Mothra down. Huzzah! Emma did it. Not huzzah, there's a terrorist group now. They have blown up the facility, leaving only the containment field, Emma, Maddie, and Mothra alive.
I like the one shot in the movie when the guy's like, okay, I surrender, you can leave me alone. And then the guy headshots him and then the glass just shatters. I like that.
Yeah, because his name's Jonah, right? Yeah, it is. And he was the leader of the bioterrorist group.
Eco-terrorist.
Eco, whatever.
Yeah, Alan Jonah is his name.
And he was an ex-British...
Special Forces.
Special Forces?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and, he's found out about these monsters. He wants to try and control them. Right?
I don't think it's wrong. It's more about the theological question of, so this is kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but in the 2014 movie, they're like, these guys came before us. They were the original balance keepers of the world. And the way that this guy sees it is we're like this infection that is ruining the planet. And the reason why Godzilla and all these monsters keep popping up is because they're like the natural antibodies for us. And so they think, well, let's just speed up the process. The radiation they leave behind makes the world return to its natural state. And they're like, well, let's just release them all and just kind of wipe the board clean and start over.
Yeah. So he's got good motives, kind of.
They very much have the possibility for a good villain.
A good guy, if you think about it.
And which is why he's returning for GK3.
Is he?
He was in the post-credit scene of New Empire.
I thought he died.
No.
Oh,
He's like the only returning villain. He's the Thanos of this universe.
shut up. Not everything is Avengers.
Watch. Kong's gonna have a shield in the next one.
No. Watch, he's gonna tell me. Oh, he's got a robotic arm. He's Bucky Kong.
Yeah, but he's not Bucky the Vampire Slayer.
Stop it. Stop it. That has no meaning yet.
It's like we're leading to something.
That has no meaning yet.
It will.
Anyway.
Continue.
Yes. So Jonah kills all the other scientists, leaving Maddie and Emma alive. But Mothra does manage to escape. With Maddie and Emma, he also takes the orca with him.
Yes, because Emma's the only one they know can operate it.
Yes. And he also uses both Maddie and Emma as leverage. Yeah. So he's using Emma and Maddie as leverage towards the government with the orca.
It's more about Monarch, I think, because they really don't like. They don't like. The dog's in here. He's been weird.
It is more towards Monarch because they are more of the monster specialist, but he's trying to use Maddie and Emma as like hostages.
Yeah, that's the way they want it to seem. Spoiler alert: she's the leader of the entire operation.
Not Maddie.
Emma is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Maddie.
Dang it, 11, you went down the wrong path. Them D&D boys strayed you wrong. I'm sorry.
But after this, it cuts to a conference with the actual head of the government all around the world, I think.
Yeah.
Meeting up with the executives of Monarch. The government is attempting to stop funding Monarch because A, they're not capturing any Titans. B,
they're not killing any Titans.
And C, they're being super secretive about how many Titans there are in the world.
Yeah.
And this is causing some distrust between the two. And hold on, give me a second. So the government doesn't trust Monarch as a whole because they're not giving the results that the government wants. So they're just trying to cut the funding in general.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take over the operation and just saying, oh, you need to kill them. They're not doing good by our standards.
Humans. Pshaw.
And it's in this little conference that he was in the first movie, right? Serizawa?
Yes.
Serizawa is part of this press conference, and he is a firm believer that the Titans came before us, and that they are the balance of the world, like Logan said. And so he doesn't want to kill them. So he kind of storms out because he's upset that A, they're not getting any funding anymore, and B, a lot of the Titans are possibly about to get killed.
Yeah. He's very much a pro-life activist for monsters.
Pro-Titan activist.
Yeah.
So after this, it cuts to Mark, right?
Yeah. And in his Colorado coyote wolf photo shoot.
So what is his field of expertise then?
I think it's animal behavior.
Animal behavior?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that would make sense. So Mark is taking pictures of a pack of wolves? Coyotes?
Yes. Yeah, they're eating on like an elk or something.
Yeah. But he's taking a picture of them with, and he's listening to them. When all of a sudden he hears the whirring of what kind of vehicle is that?
It's a helicopter.
Okay. Uh, Trust me, I know what a regular helicopter is. I'm not that dumb. It's just this one has two of the big rotors,
It's like one of the military.
like a bi helicopter.
It's like a plane copter thing. I forget what they're called, but they're pretty standard in the military these days.
Pretty standard in this movie too.
Well, it is a military-based organization, I guess. So yeah, that'd do it.
But Mark hears the blade spinning, and he turns around. It lands, and he's greeted by Sam and Sarazawa.
Sam Sarazawa and Dr. Graham.
Dr. Graham. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
That's the British chick.
Oh,
She's a lovable character.
she is. She is. But they decide to talk to Mark because back during the events of 2014, Mark and Emma both worked with Monarch.
Yes.
So they're very familiar with each other. Well, Sarazawa and Mark is. So Mark brings him to his little cabin in the woods, and Sarazawa's like, "Hey, I got some bad news for you, buddy. The Orc is back up and running, and a terrorist organization has your wife and daughter." Mark, no, that can't be. Me and Emma only made a prototype. We never made the Orca.
Well, son, I'm afraid to tell you this, but your woman done went behind your back.
Yeah, so as we found out, Mark and Emma made a prototype for this Orca, but never really completed it. After they separated, though, Emma built a brand new one in a functional one. And Mark's more interested in getting his daughter back to safety.
Yeah, because like we said, there is some tension there in this marriage. If there even is a marriage anymore.
Yeah. And it's like, they may not like each other, but they do have the same goal of keeping their daughter safe.
Yeah.
Even if one of their ways isn't as traditional as the other.
Hey, let me kill the world because you decided to kill my son. That's right. You heard it right, folks.
Alright. So, Mark and Sarazawa are still talking a little bit, but they decide to go back to the. What's the name of the ship? Or the airplane?
They go to the Castle Bravo before they go on the airplane.
Oh, okay. And that is Outpost 54. So,
Yes.
Mark wants to kill
All of them.
all of the Titans because of what happened to Andrew. And he's talking to Sarazawa, and he's like, "How many do we know of right now,
17 and counting,
including Godzilla?"
including Godzilla.
And Mark's just, he's like, "You guys are keeping this secret? You're not telling anyone?" Sarazawa's like, "Hey, they're the balance, man. What are you gonna do?" But Mark just ultimately decides to work with Monarch, try and get the Orca back in safe hands. And so it cuts then to
Antarctica.
which I'm trying to remember what outpost that is.
I don't remember the exact number, but it's like their black site. Like it's the one that nobody visits.
Oh yeah, like the super secret one. And that's because it has,
Monster Zero.
which is the main.
It's King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Yes. it's King Ghidorah.
Yeah, Monster Zero or King Ghidorah is the main monster antagonist of the movie. But right now, he's currently frozen in a massive wall of ice.
He's like Megatron in Transformers 2007. That's not foreshadowing at all.
But the terrorist group arrives and proceeds to send every employee there on a very long paid vacation.
Oh, extremely well paid. Extremely well paid.
And their plan is to detonate remote charges all along the wall and release Ghidorah and control him with the Orca.
They pretty much want to kill Godzilla and then just. I don't really think Ghidorah was like a part of their plan because they wanted to just wake them all up.
Right.
And for some reason, they just started. Well, okay. I believe they woke this one up first to deal with Godzilla. And that way there would be no fight when they woke the rest of them.
Right.
That's like the only way I could see them going like, hey, let's go this one first.
Yeah, because later on, Emma didn't realize that Ghidorah was controlling them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody knew much of anything about Ghidorah.
Because Ghidorah was like found not too long before this movie takes place.
Yeah. So
Ghidorah is still technically a new monster for Monarch. So I can see that making sense. But they start setting up charges, and their whole plan is to wake him up, control him with the Orca. Well, after this, they get it all set up, but it cuts back to Mark and Monarch. Mark
Arc.
Yeah, I'm tired of saying Mark and Monarch. It's just Mark Arc now.
It's Eminem now.
I think that's better.
Not Slim Shady, just M and M.
M-N-M.
That's right.
But it gets back to Sarazawa and all those guys. And they're trying to make contact with the Antarctic group, but they're not getting anything.
That's because they're all on vacation.
Oh, yeah. On a very well paid vacation. But they decided, hey, let's go check it out. Wouldn't hurt.
Well, because they're like, so you skipped the intimidation sequence.
Ow. See, I have all of these out of order, and I even have notes
Well, it's okay because so we get like this cool. So Mark and Godzilla, they're like kindred spirits in this movie. I don't know why they depict it as that, but it is. But so Godzilla's like he's like strobing underwater and everything because Castle Bravo is essentially to observe and track Godzilla.
Yeah, and it's an underwater base.
Yes, and so he's like he's left his territories, and he's like the only reason animals do that is if they sense danger or something scared them. And Godzilla don't run from no fight, bro. And so that means he is mad at something.
Yeah.
And that is because he hears the orca in Antarctica.
The Orca wouldn't have been in play yet. Because
he senses that Ghidorah's I don't know how, but he senses his release is imminent.
Fun fact. So, the legendary movie is based off of comics, right? Well, Godzilla has the ability to sense all life forms around the world. So that could probably be part of it.
Okay. But anyways, he senses it, and they're like, what's his trajectory? And they're like, well, everywhere he goes, he's going to Antarctica, and they're all like, oh no,
that's not good.
And Mark's like,
what's in Antarctica?
And I don't know why, but like, Mark's character seems to me like very much like this Harrison Fordy, like I don't want to be here, but I am anyway. He's like,
because
what's
because that's what he is. They're
he,
throwing him through loopholes, and he just wants to get his daughter back.
and I listened to another podcast and like Harrison Ford created like the reluctant hero, like I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, kind of character, and like a lot of these rough and tumble looking characters are all like, I'm just going to be a Harrison Ford knockoff and see how well it works for me. And so he's like, what's in Antarctica? And they're all like, don't say anything. Cut screen. Just cut the screen.
But yeah, it's at this point where Monarch does decide to go to Antarctica to check it out, right?
Yep. And so they're like, and the military aspect, because there's a military aspect and there's a science aspect.
Yeah.
And so the military is like, all right, let's go. The leader, which I forget her name, but this chick is cool. She's like, I don't know how to describe it other than cool. She's just cool.
She gets the job done.
She gets the job done. And so she's like taking like a sniping position, and like she's like, oh yeah, I'm looking at all this stuff, yeah. And Mark's
Now you're skipping around.
there was an ambush.
Yeah, there was an ambush, and Jonah and his men escape toward the platform.
And Mark decides to run out there. He just grabs a random handgun from one of the guys on vacation.
Yeah, lovely vacation.
Lovely vacation. And so he he grabs one of their guns and just is like, yep.
I don't think he ever fires it, does he?
He does not, but
Okay.
he's like straight up pointing it as like his wife and daughter. He's like, all right, come here. And if I would be in that situation, it's like, okay, I'm getting mixed signals here.
Do I go with the guy holding the gun, or do I go with the
Other guy
terrorist holding the gun? Which one? They're both pointing their guns at me. Which one do I go for?
and Madison is trying to go to her dad.
Yes.
And that's when you realize, Emma's the villain, and she blows up all the charges and releases Ghidorah.
And see, here's my way of thinking about the mother-daughter relationship. I feel like it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome.
Could be okay. Madison is in on it. She knows about the plan. They make that apparent later on in the movie. But she's like, you didn't tell me it was going to be like this. And so she's like, well, because the mom's just like that too. They realized, hey, I'm going to save the world. Oh, crap. I messed up the world.
Yeah, well, still. So it just feels like Emma has like absolute control over Madison.
She tries to, because she lost the son. And she's like,
and it definitely shows.
yeah. It also doesn't help that she plays Norma Bates on Bates Motel, so you get that vibe anyways.
But anyway, everyone starts. Both groups, the terrorists and Monarch, start getting out of the now exploding base.
And Mark is chasing his family up the elevator. It's like an elevator race going on.
Yeah.
And he's like, man. And so he stops and goes down and helps the soldiers.
Yeah, because for some reason, on that platform, there's only 2 elevators.
There's not supposed to be that many people there.
Okay.
But they're all on vacation.
Yeah.
They only need 2 elevators, man.
But the terrorists end up leaving. But as they do, they also turn on the Orca.
Yep.
And they turn it on right as Monarch group gets out.
He gets in their
Not yet.
not in their heli plane.
Yeah, not not yet. Ghidorah wakes up first. And I love all the introduction and reintroductions of the monsters. Because Ghidorah is underground and the ice has all collapsed to where he's at. And all you see at first is his 2 spike club tails coming up out of the ice, and then a head, another head, and then his third head.
And I think this is where like the whole King Cobra thing came in because they came out like very like slithery.
Yeah, like they're all serpentine moving.
Yeah.
And it's then that he comes out of the ice, and he's intimidating. He
A
looks
gigantic dragon with bat wings and club tail.
3 heads.
And just so anybody can understand this, he's based on a Hydra from mythology. But in this instance, if he loses a head, only one grows back. You don't get the 2. So he's loosely based on a Hydra.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is very cool.
But most of the scientists from Monarch start running back to the plane.
The planecopter?
Yeah, shut up. Whereas the soldiers are arms ready with their little pellet guns towards Ghidorah.
I didn't think you could consider it a pellet gun.
Do what?
I didn't think you could consider them pellet guns to Ghidorah.
No.
They're like
ant turds to humans.
Yeah.
But I think at this point Maddie starts messing with the Orca to try and save her dad.
Yeah, because she changes the trajectory and the attention to the terrorists.
And Emma just freaking out because Ghidorah is looking at them now, turns it off. And this lets Ghidorah do as he wants.
And so that's a messed up thing too.
His first instinct is he looks at the people with the little assault rifles and he vaporizes all of them
with his lightning breath,
which also counts as a gravity beam in the Showa era.
We are never covering the 54 all the way through 90 something Godzilla films. We'll cover the original one because I love the original one.
Oh yeah,
but past that, man,
it's give and take. But anyway, all the scientists and a few of the military members that survived, as well as Mark and the British lady,
Dr. Graham.
Yeah, they all make it back to their heliplanes, and they're trying to take off, but they can't due to Ghidorah as he starts banging his head on the helicopters.
And at this point, they're like kicked in like a crevice. The entire plane comes apart. Mark's trapped like under wires and stuff. Everybody's running out, and Dr. Graham is like helping him out. And they're like, "All right, let's get out of here." And they're running,
Godzilla comes in before that though, because that's the whole reason they got kicked.
That's right. Godzilla shows up. He's like, "Bro, you should have stayed in bed because I'm about to give you a lesson."
Yeah, Ghidorah's about to actually eat the heliplane thingamabob. But before he can, he just stops. And he steps back too, doesn't he?
He's like, "Oh crap, he's back."
And then we get one of the coolest shots I've ever seen. And it's Ghidorah on the left-hand side, wings spread out, all 3 heads looking at Godzilla, and Godzilla on the left side.
And Ghidorah is bigger than Godzilla.
Oh, absolutely. Wingspan wise, like 4 or 5 Godzillas wide. And he's easily like
1.5 Godzillas tall.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, then they start fighting. Whoop-de-doo.
Which I'm not really sure how it's working because they're in Antarctica, and Antarctica is pretty much just a gigantic sheet of ice.
Well, if you think about it, if the rest of where they're standing is giant ice blocks like what Ghidorah was in.
I guess.
But anyway, fast forward, Godzilla and Ghidorah are fighting, heliplane gets thrown away. Dr. Graham helps Mark out.
And so they're running everything. Godzilla's knocked down right now. They're running all of a sudden. Chomp! One of Ghidorah's heads just eats Dr. Graham. And Sarah's always like, no.
Yeah, because wasn't Dr. Graham like one of his apprentices or something?
Yes. And
So,
it just happened right in front of Mark, and he's just like, uh.
ah!
Just starts doing the Z pattern on the ice.
Just to try and like avoid Ghidorah,
Yeah.
and they managed to take off, but Ghidorah also manages to beat Godzilla.
Yep.
Kind
Godzilla
of.
retreats.
And Ghidorah disappears off the radar.
Yeah.
And after he disappears, a tropical storm emerges.
Yes.
And it's heading towards
The,
Isla de Mara, right?
the movie originally says it's like stationary in Argentina,
Oh,
but Godzilla is going
to Isla de Mara.
because
Right.
that's where that's where the orca is.
Yes.
And Godzilla is tracking the orca.
And then we have like a little bit of human banter. Like,
And we get the Emma calls, and we get like the mustache twirling villain speech.
I'm doing this to save the world. I'm the hero here. I don't care if millions upon millions die. I'm saving the world. And Mark's like, do you hear yourself? You can stop now. Put your hand down and stop twirling your mustache.
I was just like thinking about the way to say this because I love as soon as she hangs up, I forget her name, Dr. Chen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
that
this.
Female dog.
Yeah. It's just like so abrupt, and you're just like, okay, we're going there, all right.
But
and I like how Mark doesn't say anything. He's just like, yeah.
He doesn't agree, but he also doesn't disagree. But that's when we realize, or Monarch realizes, the orca isn't in Isla de Mara.
She's in one of the old radiation bunkers in case any of the monsters ever got out, and she's bouncing it
off the Monarch satellites to transmit the orca signal.
Yeah. But they don't need it.
No.
Because Ghidorah is waking everybody up. And
well, no, not yet.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm like one step ahead.
Yeah. But with the orca, Emma releases another, I would say, fairly dangerous titan.
Yep.
And in the movie, it is called Rodan, the fire demon. And we talked about it already a little bit.
Yeah, he's just a pterodactyl with wings that have lava on him.
But it's like the outside. You said it was meant to look like magma.
Yeah.
But it doesn't on the outside. But the inside, that's where it's at. Because if you remember the final fight.
Yeah, you're right.
And I actually like that more than if it was like flowing magma on the outside.
Right. Like he just spreads ash everywhere in embers.
But Rodan wakes up now, and he's a massive pterodactyl. Like he covers an entire volcano with his wings.
Like he's big. He's big enough. He stands toe to toe with Ghidorah, not for long, but he does.
He can hold his own ground.
He can.
And Monarch's doing everything in their power to evacuate Isla de Mara.
And this is where they are gotten on the Argo, which is a gigantic
command ship, pretty much.
Command plane thing. It almost reminds me of what is it? That one ship in Star Wars.
I know what you're talking about,
but I can't remember its name. But it's like that big one that's like a V, and everybody important is in. Yeah, listeners out there, you should know what I'm talking about.
But Rodan takes off, and for his size, he's fast.
Mhm.
And this is probably the most realistic part about it.
Yeah,
Is
because like he almost creates
he
he creates
moves,
a gigantic windstorm every
yeah,
time he moves.
and it doesn't rip up buildings, but it does throw everything that isn't bolted down.
I want to say like potential like tornado speed winds. I don't want to say
Oh,
hurricane speed winds,
like
but
we're talking cars, people, mailboxes,
I
all
want to
that
say
stuff.
somewhere in between a tornado speed and a hurricane speed is what he's generating by
Yeah,
flying over things.
but the Argo and Monarch have an idea. They realize that the tropical storm just changed directions from Argentina and is now heading towards Isla de Mara. And they realize it's not just a storm, it's Ghidorah.
And so they lead him into a Sarazawa fight.
When they're leading Rodan,
Mm-hmm.
to fight Ghidorah.
And Ghidorah wins easily. And then
But it's so cool though,
it is.
because Rodan actually holds his own for a second.
And then so the Argo's trying to get away. And as soon as Ghidorah goes in for a bite, Godzilla shows up. Chomp! They're having an underwater fight.
Yeah, this all happens over the water, and Godzilla just and drags Ghidorah down with
Very
him.
much Jaws esque. And so they get a call from the military.
Just like, hey guys,
we're
yeah,
sending a oxygen destroying missile your way. You might want to leave.
yeah, it'll send everything in a 2 mile radius on permanent vacation.
Yeah. A little bit more than permanent vacation. They're just moving. um,
yeah, yeah.
and it happens, and
They have 30 seconds to get away.
yeah, and so Godzilla, Ghidorah emerges after the explosion, unaffected.
Aside from
Missing a head, which
yes.
Godzilla got one of his heads, which happened off screen.
Nope.
It did happen on screen.
It was under the water.
Oh,
right before the missile impact.
Okay.
But that's what led me to believe, like, if the bomb didn't hit, I feel like Godzilla could have won right then and there.
He potentially could have, yes.
Simply because, Ghidorah is more air and land, more air. Godzilla's more water-based fighting, and they kind of meet in the middle for land.
And so they only get one signal, and that's Ghidorah. And they're just like, well, we just killed the best shot we had of stopping this thing. Good job, everybody. Yeah, good job. Let's get a pay raise. And so, at this point is when Ghidorah
wakes every Titan on Earth up,
and he summons them to his location.
And this is another one of my favorite scenes is
when he's sitting on top of the volcano and
where
he's just like
Rodan, like his wings spread out, he's shooting lightning out of all of his heads, and as the camera zooms out, you see like a little cross in the background. Like, pray to God this thing doesn't come for you.
And so he proclaims himself the new king of the monsters.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, crap. What we got? What's our plan here?
What's our best bet? Anguirus? We haven't seen from him in 40 years.
Yeah. And so they're like, well, there's only one thing we can do. We got to take a nuke to Godzilla and wake him up.
And that leads to the problem of finding Godzilla. Because he always moves around underwater super fast. He could be in 1 minute at North America and then in the exact next minute be in China.
Could this be a potential...
Shut up.
I'm not going to do any Avengers stuff.
I know, but I know where you're going to.
Could this be a potential long-running
hint at something much bigger?
Yeah, that's been seeded in the one movie before this.
Like the Avengers, I beat you to it.
I wasn't even going to say the Avengers. I was going to say Kong, but okay. Anywho, they're like, all right, we got his location. We got some nukes.
Mothra.
Right, Mothra reemerges.
She returns
in full form.
Yes, in her, and I can't say this enough. I love the monster forms. They're so beautiful.
And so she shows them the path. And so they get on a sub, they go down, and they go through quote unquote hollow earth, quote unquote not hollow earth.
It's vortexes that, without proper monster guidance, spoiler alert,
they're essentially wormholes that the monsters usually travel throughout the world.
Yeah.
Potentially leading to an alternate Earth below said Earth, but we're not going to get into that today.
Maybe in season 2.
Maybe. And so they get crashed, and they're like, well, the firing system's damaged, navigation system's damaged. What do we got? Well, you can hand take the nuke tube if you want to.
And
Sarah's always like, do it.
Yeah. I also want to point out that Logan didn't think so, but I thought where Godzilla's lair was the lost city of Atlantis.
I think it's a part of Hollow Earth, but I think it's like a sunken part because in later movies, spoiler alert, there is indigenous people in Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's like a sunken part of that. Maybe before they digressed into indigenous peoples. But the franchise is not done. We won't find out, but
probably for another 21 years.
Yeah, probably not.
Anyway, Serizawa does agree to take the nuclear bomb to Godzilla himself.
And he knows this he ain't coming home from.
Because as Rick, one of the other members of Monarch, said, if the heat doesn't fry you,
the radiation will get you.
Yeah. And it makes sense that that's where Godzilla's lair would be, because
he lives on radiation.
And it's just constant radiation.
And so he takes his mask off.
After he brings the nuke.
After he brings the nuke in, he turns it on. He pretty much does like one of those...
like what Chris Pratt did for the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
He actually touches Godzilla.
He's like, farewell, old friend. And then it just nukes everything, in which case we see a skeleton of a creature, which we discover to be Anguirus.
And I actually like that fact. And me and little side tangent, there's a monster that comes up that looks like Anguirus.
It's very turtle-like.
It's massive.
Like, potentially bigger than Ghidorah. Massive. This sucker is huge.
Like, it is the size of a mountain.
Yeah. So, like, hey, Legendary, if you're listening,
make Ghidorah. Make Anguirus.
Make Anguirus happen.
Yes.
Now.
Yes. Now.
And give up on your whole mecha storyline and your whole... Bring in Destroyer, bring in Anguirus, bring in the lesser-known monsters.
Biollante.
Biollante. I would love to see a Biollante movie. Anywho, get off the tangent.
As Serizawa sets off the nuke, the submarine starts
pushed.
Yeah, they start leaving and is pushed back to the surface. And as everyone gets out of the sub to see if everything's all right, the water starts glowing.
And Godzilla stands straight up and just lets out an atomic beam straight into the sky.
And that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Before he shoots his atomic breath, the music starts swelling with the spines on his back. And as it gets closer and closer to shooting, the chanting kicks in. And it is so good.
I'm wondering if that leads into, like, with the stuff they were talking about in New Empire.
What do you mean?
Like, because they do just talk about indigenous peoples and everything and all that other kinds of stuff.
Could be. Because, spoiler alert, again, in the New Empire, it's apparent that the Titanus Gojira race also live in Hollow Earth.
Yeah. So, and they're like, "All right, where's the orc at now?" And they discover that their base is in Boston, but Madison stole it because she's like, "Screw this, man! You guys are evil. I'm gonna do the right thing here." And she goes to Fenway Stadium and turns on the orc.
And one of my favorite comments of the movie is, "Today is going to be a bad day to be a Red Sox fan."
Oh yeah.
But
And so
she turns on the Orca,
and it draws Ghidorah and Godzilla there.
Which I think Godzilla was already heading that way to begin with.
Yes.
Because he was heading towards Ghidorah.
Yeah. And so and I like the fact that Millie Bobby Brown, she's a good actress.
She is.
And I like the fact that like as soon as she realizes what she's done, she's like,
"Oh God,
crap!" And so pretty much we get more Serizawa let him fight action.
Yeah, Ghidorah touches down, and as he's wrecking stuff, he's about to eat Maddie, and then he just stops. He backs up out of fear, and he starts screeching. And
because the man is back, baby.
He's back, and he's quite literally bigger and better.
And so those two go at it level in Boston, and then Rodan shows up. He's like,
Mothra first.
Mothra shows up, and she's like, "Don't touch my man, sir."
Yeah, because something we didn't mention is Mothra
is like a symbiotic relationship with Godzilla.
Yeah,
and they're like, wait a minute, so are they like like together? And one of the doctors is like, dude, don't make it weird.
But you know, because Mothra kind of webs up Ghidorah, which gives Godzilla an opportune time to body slam him through a building.
And that's when Rodan shows up. He's like, "Hey, don't touch my boss. I'm looking for a raise.
I'm here too, guys. Don't forget about me."
Yeah. And so they're like, they're having an aerial fight.
And ground fight. It's all over the place.
And Rodan's about ready to just eat Mothra. And she's like, no, not today. She stabs him with a stinger.
Like through like one of the wings.
I would say like around the shoulder
yeah.
area-ish.
And that's what I was talking about, is like seeing the magma or lava inside.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And so he falls down. He's out for the count.
And in the fight. He's not dead.
No.
But he's done for this fight.
And so Godzilla and Ghidorah are still going at it. Godzilla is down.
The reason he's down is because Ghidorah is like, hey, you want a trip to space?
Let's take a little trip to space. And then he just drops him from space.
And Godzilla enters his terminal velocity.
He does.
Burning up. And when he impacts the ground, the cloud is the same kind of blue as his atomic breath.
Yeah, because he was charging up, and that's when Ghidorah took him up.
Oh.
And so Mothra's like, "Baby, no!" And so she crawls on top of him and just does like a intimidation tactic on Ghidorah.
She flaps her wings, which, from what I remember, the pattern looks almost like Godzilla's eyes.
Kind of, yes. And so she flies at him, just like, "I'm gonna get you, sir," and then just
Ghidorah beams her,
and she is dust. She's not dead; she's dust.
And she uses her magical moth dust powers to
thermonuclear charge Godzilla somehow.
Make Godzilla even stronger.
And this is where the images of Red Godzilla come from on the internet.
But he needs time to get back up on his feet.
And so that's when
Mark and Emma,
which they have found Madison.
Yeah,
she went hiding home.
See, I don't like the human aspects all that much about these when it comes to these movies.
Because like it cuts every 5 minutes. Like, oh yeah, there's humans here. There's a story here.
Don't forget about these guys. They're also important. Like no, not really.
Not really.
I just want to see big monsters fight.
And so they're like, all right, what can we do? And Emma's like, I'm going to turn on the orca. I'm going to sacrifice myself, redeem myself, perhaps. You don't. But
No, because in my eyes, it would have been more fitting if Ghidorah killed her.
she dies off screen.
Yeah,
I can't say she dies. It's implied.
it is, and we'll explain here in a second. But as she's driving away, Maddie's like, "No, Mom," and Mark's just standing behind her, dead face, like, "Okay,
I see what you're up to.
go for it. I won't stop you. I have no objections." But so she turns on.
There's just some latent hostility there.
So she turns on the orca and mixes the frequencies together to get the attraction of Ghidorah. And she gets in a Hummer and she starts driving away. And Ghidorah's like, "Hey, that sounds threatening. Time to kill it."
And like, so the Humvee flips. She's like, "Long live the king." And he's like, "I know, right? Like I'm awesome." And then he quote unquote kills her.
He doesn't get a chance to. Because that's when Godzilla comes back.
Oh yeah, everything's melting because
he is in his thermonuclear state, which is when his body is at its highest temperature it can take before he would explode.
And he just starts sending massive thermonuclear shock blasts. And it like melts Ghidorah's wings and heads and everything.
Two of the heads. And real quick, that's what I think killed Emma. Not Ghidorah, but the shock blast.
Yeah, she'd be dust. So.
Or she'd be more than dust. You saw what it did to a crane. It was melting it before he even got close. But
just Godzilla's existence killed this woman.
I mean, the radiation alone would probably do that. Boston is done for.
I was gonna say there ain't no Red Sox anymore.
But Ghidorah takes like 2 more hits from that atomic bolt. And the first one is just kind of to disorient his last remaining head. And the third one Godzilla does while standing over its chest and crushes it with his foot.
And then he lets out this ultra blast, in which case the screen cuts to black or white or something.
Godzilla emerges from the rubble with the last living Ghidorah head in his mouth, and then he fires off.
He fires and he's just like, "Man, this guy tastes bad." And then, and that's honestly,
that's where it ends.
Yeah, it ends kind of like how 2014 does, with just him just, no.
All the Titans that awoke in America come to surround him.
And he's just like, "Kneel before me."
And Rodan,
he's
like, "Hey, buddy, I know we had our trouble, but forgive me."
I was like, "I'm sorry, I tried to kill your wife, but hey, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve."
Well, no hard feelings, right? I wasn't the one that killed her. No hard feelings.
And Godzilla's like,
"Go away.
You are forgiven. Just shut up." And so he just does his iconic screech, yelling at the ground, and he is proclaimed he is the true king of the monsters. And then it cuts to black.
And then there's post-credit scene. Nothing to worry about. We don't care about those.
Yeah, it's just Godzilla versus Kong. Nothing too big about that.
Oh yeah, the entire movie in a post-credit scene.
Yep. Yeah, so that was Godzilla King of the Monsters. Any final thoughts?
Like I said, I've said this every time. I've said it for Pacific Rim. I've said it for every Godzilla movie. I don't like the human aspect. Like, they add to it, but sometimes it just bores me.
Well, it's because they interjected the worst possible moments, and it's just like there is a story there, but it's not adhesive to like how it plays out into the bigger picture of the entire movie.
Like, I get it. You can't have an entire action sequence followed up by the humans taking their events 5 minutes before the fight ended.
Yeah.
You have to have it simultaneously, but at the same time, it's like, it's so jarring to just cut from big monsters destroying Boston to, oh, where's my daughter? Ah.
She's probably dead. It's alright. um, yeah, this is a good movie. I would say this is not. I wouldn't use this as your first Godzilla movie
No.
because you need to like. I would say watch for people who are just starting to get into Godzilla. I would say watch 2014. Then, if you're curious enough, watch the original Godzilla. Then watch -1, which I love -1. And then I would say jump back into the Legendary Universe once you've seen both the American version and the Japanese version, and then continue on with your Godzilla journey.
Yeah.
Because you got about 50 years worth of films to catch up on there, son.
It's different for everyone. Like, a lot of people like the Ho-Oh era. A lot of people like the Showa era. I know a lot of people right now like the Legendary era. And then a lot of people like you really enjoy the
Heisei era.
the Heisei or the -1.
Heisei is the one that people will think about the most because it was Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Anguirus, Godzilla versus this.
And it was also like all the crazy, wacky ones too.
It was the '80s version that pretty much like birthed Power Rangers and stuff. Where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
let's have a giant.
Let's have a giant 50. By the way, the difference in size is jarring.
This Godzilla is like 300 feet.
300, 400 feet.
The original one was like 50 feet tall.
Yeah. But in that era, it's like, hey, let's have a 50-foot atomic lizard magically float on his tail while doing a drop kick on a 3-headed dragon that breathes gravity lightning.
That's how it works, bro. Yeah, definitely check. I would say if you like CGI fanfare, check out this franchise. Not just this movie in a whole, but just check out the entire franchise. Um, I do have some questions.
Okay.
Which, if you could be one of the monsters, besides Godzilla, because I know you're going to say Godzilla because
I
you're a
actually
Godzilla
wasn't.
fanboy.
I actually wasn't going to say Godzilla.
Who would it be?
Oh, like any of them through the entire franchise or just from the movie?
I would say from this movie, just because we're covering this movie.
Okay. Honestly, I know Ghidorah is all powerful and whatnot, but I have to go with Rodan. Rodan.
That's I. That's a good. That's a good one. I
Like, and unfortunately, he doesn't get a whole lot of screen time.
No, but
But
that's just because there's just such a bigger amount of
bigger monsters going
yeah.
on.
I would have to say from this movie, I would I would say Behemoth only because just of how cool it is.
Isn't that like the
That's-
gorilla mammoth thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like a gigantic 400-foot tall mammoth with like gorilla arms and gorilla like shaped tusks. That's pretty cool.
All right. So I do have a question. It's kind of similar to yours, but instead of which one would you be out of all of them through the entire series, which one is your favorite?
Kong.
Song?
Only because like I grew up with King Kong, and like him and Godzilla are the main characters.
Yeah.
Godzilla is the defender of the world. Kong is the defender of man. And so you're obviously going to get more of him, and you're going to want to get more story of him.
Right.
But then just like I love how he fights. He tries to think when he fights.
Yeah. And sometimes that doesn't work though.
No.
Most of the time that doesn't work.
He gets some of the cooler action sequences.
See, I would have to go with obvious Godzilla. Just watching his evolution go on, oh, it's so good. Because you watch him grow, you watch him learn, and you watch him get stronger. And I love that. The one thing I don't love is the new color for him.
Oh, the pink.
Yeah. But, you give and you
There's give and take.
Yeah, it's give and take.
They gotta change the look to sell more toys.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Okay. If you could add any Toho monster to this franchise for entire, like it's a main character, who would it be?
Like, to fight against Godzilla?
I would say to add to their roster because they're eventually gonna be like, well, Godzilla and Kong, they're getting older. There's already Son of Kong. Who would you add to their roster?
Well, there are two kind of friendly ones that come to mind. One of them is Anguirus. I would definitely add Anguirus, but if that would be off the table, then Biollante.
Yeah,
Because
out of the
Biollante,
two, I would say Anguirus would probably be the better choice because I feel like he's a little bit more known than Biollante is.
oh, absolutely, but like, oh, Biollante,
He's
I,
massive.
she's massive.
That's right. That's it.
Biollante is a mixture of an entire woman's body, of Venus flytrap DNA, and Godzilla's blood sample.
Yeah. Honestly, the most likeliness we'll probably get Biollante before we get Anguirus.
Yeah.
Just because of the whole human story they're kind of trying to go for, but
Right. Last question. Out of every monster, any one that you can think of, which one would you want to see be the main villain for the next movie?
Destroyer.
Destroyer?
Well, they're definitely setting up for a new regime of creatures,
Oh yeah.
and so the only one that's ever like actually killed Godzilla in the movies before is Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
So, and they've already brought in aliens before, so it's not unlike them to do it again.
No, Destroyer wasn't even alien.
Yeah, he was.
No. Destroyer was
Oh, that's right. He was a
crustacean.
human.
Was a micro colony of crustaceans that had evolved from radiation.
Anywho, that's who.
Yeah. I'm the Toho nerd, you said.
That's right.
Woot woot.
And then we'll get right back into it with Sleepy Hollow is our next film, which will be in.
Yes.
So yeah, just keep listening and we'll keep having fun, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been
The Real Bros.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.